Happy Valentine's Day, kids. I haven't done a love life video in a while, so this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about myths and misconceptions about women and dating. Everybody, it's the infamous Kiki. I am here. It is Valentine's Day, or Galentine's Day, or V Day, whatever you want to call it. Some of y'all gonna be hanging out, with your man or your girl, out there getting your freak on, whatever. I ain't mad at you. As you can say, I have a nice, lovely bouquet behind me. Oh, lovely bouquet, darling. And it's pretty much Valentine's Day is pretty much a money grab. But what we're going to talk about today, for all those women out there are single, all those people out there single, there may be men watching this, there may be women watching this. I don't discriminate against none of y'all. What I'm going to do is do an episode about some type of love stuff because it's Valentine's Day, and we're going to talk about the myths and misconceptions that men have. I would say mostly men. I don't know if women really have these misconceptions. I don't really hear a lot of women saying this stuff, but I hear a lot of men. I've heard a lot of men in the past, present, and probably in the future, talk about women and dating. And I think there's a lot of myths out there, so we're going to get into some of the myths. And again, there are statistics. There's some things you can be that can be proven by statistics and numbers and things like that. And then there's some things that, of course, that are, to me, anecdotal, which means that they're my experiences. There's experiences that I see about the women around me. And so you have to take that as a grain of salt because it's not data. I can't prove certain things. So I don't want people thinking that what I say is gospel. I'm just relating to you guys my personal experiences and my experiences being in women group, knowing women of all different races and different backgrounds, and what I've seen over the years in my almost 46 years. So I've dated a lot. I've been married. I'm widowed. I've been single. I've been in a relationship. And I just like to tell people, and impart some kind of wisdom or put my hat in the ring. I'm not a love relationship guru. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. So don't ever think that. I'm totally holy. If you watch my other videos, please watch my other videos. I have a playlist that says all about me, but I've done other videos and I'll post them at the end. You'll see them here, or up here. Right, up here. Up there somewhere, which will direct you to other videos I've done about relationships and love. And I don't do this very often, but what I'm going to say is that there's myths about women when it comes to dating. What I've heard from men is, over and over again, is that women have it easy to date, that women can find men easy, and that men have it oh so hard. I can't speak on what men go through. I'm not a man. I've never asked a round table of men. I can't ask the men that are in my life. I've asked them, but I haven't asked them in a while. It's been a long time. So I don't know how things go. I'm not a man. I haven't asked them, and maybe I should. But from what I hear from men that I don't know, like complete strangers and stuff on the internet, is that men have such a tough time finding somebody and women have all the leverage and advantage. Let me tell you something. Let me just get nuck if you buck, if you will. I don't know where men get these myths from. I think people, men and women, watch entirely too much television, entirely too much movies, maybe music, or they hear other men say this and they pick up on that too. But I ask men, have you asked the women in your life, is this true? Have you asked your mothers, sisters, aunts, wives, girlfriends, cousins? And most of them will be like, well, no. Well, who is telling you that it's easier for women to meet men? I'm talking about straight people. Let me put that caveat out there. We're talking about straight people. I don't know what gay people do. I'm just talking strictly about the straights, okay? So if you're gay and you're like, hey, your experience may be different, whether you be a gay man or a gay woman. But I'm just talking about straight people. I'm talking about people of all different races. I'm not talking about just black women, just Hispanic women, white men, black men, whatever. I'm talking about people of all different races. I've heard men say, of all different races, different age groups, that somehow there's this theory that women go places and men just like throw the sausage out at your feet. They just like slow. And I'm just like, I don't know where this comes from. I have beautiful women in my life. I know beautiful women. Because I'm thinking, well, maybe it's the attractive factor, right? Because men are like, well, attractive women. Most of my friends are attractive women. I have some acquaintances and YouTubers and friends that I'm friends with that are stunning. That are stunning. I would have to say, not to toot my own horn, I'm an attractive woman. And I know women who are just average. I know women who are single. I know women, quite a few women that are single. And I know some that are married. The one that are married, they don't count. They don't ask them. But I can honestly tell you that my single female friends are single not because they're not attractive, not because they're not smart. These women are independent. They have good jobs. They have, their own place to live. They don't have no kids. Or if they do have kids, their kids are adults. Like, I have women friends that are my age and their kids are grown out the house. And then I have younger female friends that are in their 30s, 20s and 30s. And they either have one child or they have no kids at all. And whether they want a man or not, sometimes they date, sometimes a little bit. But it's hard for them to really find a man, especially these days when things have changed during the pandemic. So the whole dating scene has changed. But I'm talking about even pre-pandemic, that I know women who've telling me stories about them on these dating apps and things like that, and about the idea that, and these are women that go out, they go out to clubs, bars, restaurants we'll go together, they'll go separate, whatever the situation may be. But the idea that women, pretty women or attractive women, have all these men falling at their feet, I'm telling you, fellas, it's a lie. It is a straight up lie. I have been on panels online that men have said to me, oh, well, no, they were talking about something, and they were like, they were talking about women being single, and they're like, well, you don't really count because I know you probably got 100 dudes in your DMs. No. If I could get my phone over here and show you my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube, I would, I would let you see my DMs, and my DMs have nothing in it. I have people asking about business opportunities. People want me to try to advertise my page, stuff like that, normal spam stuff. That's about it. I don't have dudes in my DMs on Facebook. Facebook, the only people that DM me is people that I know. Like, I don't have any kind of, although my Facebook page is private. So, but my Instagram page is public. My Twitter page is public. I don't have anybody DM me on Twitter. And so I asked the people, who are these women? I want to know, who are these women out here that are getting all these men and just getting smacked in the face with a hot dog? Like, I want to know, because I don't know women like this. Like, I don't know. I have single friends who are struggling to even find someone to talk to. Like real talk, and some of them put in different levels of effort, or some of them that are really, really online, really trying to talk. And then some of them just kind of like, it comes my way, it doesn't, but they've been single for a while now. So I the idea that women are sitting around here with just like all these dudes just coming after you. No, I lead a normal life. When I go out to the store or out with my friends or out by myself and I go to a restaurant or a bar or club or go to the grocery store or take my kids someplace, nobody is paying attention to us when we go out. I asked my friends, I was like, where are all these men they talking about? We sit at the restaurant, we're just like, we're like, and granted, I'm not looking for a man and looking for a person. I'm not looking for that. But I just find it comical that people think like me and my sister, like we go out, and my sister-in-law is gorgeous. Shout out. My sister-in-law is blonde and beautiful. And when we go out, like 9 times out of 10, I mean, not even 9 times out of 10 times out of 10, we just sit there and drink and eat and cackle and laugh and drink and eat and cackle and laugh and talk. And there's no dudes is like coming from across the room like, hey, let me go talk to these pretty ladies. Maybe it's regional. I think some of you people who are saying this live in regions like in the Northeast where men are like, hey, yo, shorty, like where men are more apt to catcall you. That's why I've never been to New York, but I know people who live in on the East Coast, New York, Jersey, Philly, and their experiences with men and videos that they post of men are like coming up to you like, hey yo, shorty. That doesn't happen in Dallas, Texas. I've never known any. I've been all over Texas, all over. You can watch some of my travel videos. I've been all over Texas. I'm like, that doesn't happen here. I haven't lived in many states. I've lived in Michigan, but I left when I was a child. So pretty much I've spent my adult life, my adolescence and adulthood in Texas. And I tell you, in Texas, it don't matter whether the woman's black, white, Latina, Asian, anything in between, that there's no dudes who are approaching you going like, hey, shorty, what's up? Or, hey, ma. There's no cat calling on the streets. Now, for a lot of women, that's a positive, especially the ones that live in like Brooklyn and Queens that I know of. And they like, oh my God, I get so tired of these dudes hitting on me. Oh, I get so tired of these dudes talking to me. That's their experience. I don't know how California is. California, here people are much more, men are much more forward. Florida, men and women are much more forward in Florida from what I've heard. Again, I haven't been to Florida either or California, but that's what I hear. But I'm like, I've been to the South. I've been to Louisiana. I've been to Arkansas. I've been to Oklahoma. I'm in Texas. I have not seen any of that. Like, I don't see in mass a lot of dudes who are like trying to approach you. So this myth, I'm trying to put this myth to rest because I don't know how women let men get away with saying these things. And I'm like, and they know it's not true. I think it makes women, I have a theory. I think it makes women feel better when men say this because it makes them feel more desirable. When men say this and they're like, yeah, women, we got all these men. And then even though they don't know it, they know it's not the truth in their lives. Or sometimes women take it personal. Like they think, well, because it's not happening to me, it's happening all these women around me. And really, if you go into, I belong to women groups. And if you go and ask them, in y'all day-to-day life, do y'all have a lot of men hitting on you? I belong to a women's group that's in Texas. And for the most part, women are like, no. You know, they're like, nah, we just go about our life. Go to the gym. I go pick up the kids. I go out with my girls on the weekend. I don't know. I would like to know these women who this is happening to. Again, I think it's region specific. And I think that everybody just assumes because they do certain things in certain regions that men are more aggressive. In certain regions that people think the whole country is like that. That the dating scene is all like that. I can tell you that the dating scene varies by state. And so if anybody is trying to give you any kind of love advice, like this is, you know, there are just different women in California and Miami. Women in California and Miami are not women in New York. It's just not it. Women in New York are not women in the South. In Atlanta. Or Atlanta's not Texas. Texas is not Atlanta. It's just not. And so I find it disingenuous that people just think that there's a one size fits all for dating and finding a mate, and that no matter wherever you live, like whatever I say, this is going to go for every place. It's not. And the people who are out there telling men and women, giving men and women love advice because of what happened to them or their experiences in other women, or how to find somebody. Okay, how to find, it depends on what you're looking for, number one, and then number two, it depends on where you live. If you're looking for a nice, sweet, demure church girl, and you at a, like a, for instance, at a Miami club every day, you're not gonna find her. There's nothing wrong with people having preferences of what they like, but you have to go where the kind of woman you're looking for. Going out to a club or a bar on the weekends, no matter what state you in, you're gonna get a certain type of man and a certain type of woman. And I just see people out here that don't know really what they want, don't know what they're looking for, and they just winging it. Just, well, I don't want to be alone, I'll just pick this person. And that's not how it should go. And then they end up failing, and then they getting mad and frustrated at the opposite sex because they can't pick the right person, or they just settle for a warm body or settle for whoever. It doesn't work that way. If women did have all these men throwing themselves at them or at us, a lot of women wouldn't settle. A lot of women out here stay in messed up relationships and messed up situations just like men do. But a lot of women stay because they don't want to be lonely, and they know that it's hard to find somebody out here in our social media age during the pandemic. That's added to it, but even before that, it's hard to find somebody in this day and age. Y'all don't understand how social media has totally changed the game. It is totally, when I was younger and I was dating and I met my husband back in the early 2000s, it was nothing like it is now. I pity people trying to find someone to marry, trying to find someone that's going to be serious with them, trying to find somebody that's going to be real with them, trying to find somebody stable, trying to find somebody who won't bail on them at whenever things get rough. Because there's a lot, because now with Facebook and dating apps and Instagram, people can just up and leave. People just like, oh, I ain't do with that, and they can up and leave and up and cheat. You know, when I say people, men and women, people. So, you know, and people, you know, there's just so much opportunity. I'm not saying that people take advantage of it or have to, but there's so much opportunity out there for people to just bail on a relationship mentally and emotionally and check out, and then be over here talking to somebody else or dating somebody else. You know, it's you know, that is available out there. And then let me tell you another thing. It depends on what kind of man you're trying to get. But I'm just talking about generally speaking. But it also depends. I mean, if you're just looking for a warm body, you're just looking for somebody to take to bed and have sex with, yeah, you can jump on there and be like, look, I'm looking for a casual relationship, looking for a hookup, and the men will fly to you. If you put that out there, you're going to find what you're looking for. But, you know, if you're young and you're not planning to settle down and you don't want to get married, and hey, do your thing, boo. Do your thing. But what I'm talking about is mature women, like women over the age of 30 who are looking for someone to settle down with, who are looking for somebody to be with. And men over, you know, let's say they're dating men over 30 or 35 of a certain age. And then, you know, if you're trying to find somebody your age group and level of maturity, it's the older you get, from what I've seen, the harder it is. So, you know, the idea that I just laugh. I laugh because I'm like, who are these women? I don't know. I don't know women who have all these. I mean, like I said, I think people watch too much music videos. If you're an Instagram model and you're wait a minute, hold on. Let me do y'all. Let me do y'all real quick. Let me do this. If you on IG and you are like this, and your titties is out, and your butt, and you like this, and you like this, and you like this, and you know, my camera going, but you all like this, and you got it all, just shit. That's gonna attract people. But people who do that attract attention on purpose. But regular women, I'm not an Instagram model. I'm not an IG model. I got kids. I own businesses. I have a job. Like, why, you know, if you're 25 years old and you out there like that, I'm not shaming you. I'm not doing nothing. But I think people see this stuff on Instagram and they think this is the norm. Like, okay, yeah, those women have dudes in their DMs. If you showing it all like that, I don't know any women like that. I don't personally know any women like that. I know celebrities. I know people in media. I know IG models. I know escorts. I know people who put it all like that, all out there like that, but they're trying to get views and followers and stuff like that because that's how they make their income. They're models. But I think people think that regular women like we models, and we not. We just regular people. Like, we not on Instagram showing all that. I mean, in your 20s, you may do that, but I'm 45 years old. Like, my friends are in their 30s. I don't know any 35 years olds who is like stunting for the gram. Yeah, you take a selfie in the picture, but you ain't all there in the bikini top and you naked and you got your legs spread and you're like, like, I don't know no women that's putting it out there like that. And the ones that do put it out there like that is usually for some kind of income or gain, or they desperately just want attention, or they want to piss off their boyfriend or girlfriend. But that's not the majority. The majority of people are just are sitting at home working, watching TV, cleaning their house, taking care of their kids. They just doing normal people stuff. Like I'm not some ratchet hood chicken out here. I'm not some ratchet chick out here like, all doing all this in the streets and all that. I'm like, once you get to over 30, 35, it's like, okay, I ain't about that. You ain't got time for all that. You ain't got time for all that. So again, I want to know, I'm just here to dispel and break on Valentine's Day the misconception that women have it easier. No, we do not. When it comes to dating, no, we do not. When it comes to dating, it's area specific. It depends on where you live. It depends on what you're looking for. That's another thing. What your preference is, what you're looking for, whether you're going to find somebody or not. But the idea that women, we have all these men in our DMs, we have all this sausage hitting us in our faces, we have all these men running after us and chasing after us, that I'm like, what? What women? I don't know any. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, the infamous Kiki, I don't have no simps. I don't have no simps following behind me like, ooh, Miss Kiki. Oh, you so beautiful, girl. Ooh, let me pay your light bill. Let me pay your car payment, girl. Like, I'm like, what? Am I doing something wrong? Like, I'm like, I don't have that. I've never had that. I've never had that. I was married. I don't think my husband even was my husband wasn't simping out for me either. Put it there. Tell you something. I had a husband. He wasn't simping out for Miss Kiki either. No. He was just like, yeah, I'm a wife. I love her. Yeah, okay. I mean, it wasn't like, I think a lot of times the men who say these things are men that are desperate. They've never had any women. They've never been with any women. Whatever. But for men who've dated, who've been with women, who've had wives and plenty of girlfriends, I don't know if they may have the same messed up notions, but again, I can tell you that there's no simps falling at your feet. There's always going to be guys out there who women will take advantage of. There's always guys going to be out there that are desperate for attention for pretty women. And there's women out there that they're always going to take advantage of that and use that. I couldn't manipulate bread, and I couldn't even manipulate a ham sandwich. I'm just telling you, I don't have it in me. Like the idea that women have some kind of agency about us, we all don't. I don't have the confidence level or the agency to be like, ooh, hey, I marvel at these women on these reality shows, these women that have been locked up, or these women that live in other countries that be finessing these dudes out of money. I could never in my spirit ask no man for no money. Like, I don't live in, I couldn't do it. And there's women of not just in small third world countries, but all over that I can't pretend to like somebody I don't like. I can't lay up with somebody I don't like, that I'm not attracted to. Ain't enough money in the world for me to be laying next to somebody. I'm looking at them like, and they looking like a sponge. They looking like a thumb. I'm just be like, I couldn't even cuddle up with that and post pictures with that and look my fan and give my mama I couldn't look at her in the eye, because she would be looking at me like, why are you with them, man? Like, for real, like he would have to be giving me a lot of money, because yeah, I just can't. I don't have the ability to act. And then on top of that, I'm not that desperate for love and attention or money. So I mean, maybe if I lived in a third world country and I was poor, maybe so. Maybe and I had kids and I had to do what I had to do. I mean, women have always, since the dawn of time, had to do what they had to do, and they've always had different kind of arrangements with men, with famous and rich and successful men. But for me and for the women I know, they just rather not be bothered. You want to deal with somebody that you can't, you have nothing in common with, you can't deal with. They all up in your face, and you're like, God, I can't deal. Like, my distaste shows on my face. Like, I'll be like this. Yeah, honey, I love you. I've dated dudes where I just got sick of them, and they could just see it in my body language. And then they get to the point where I didn't want to be around them, and I didn't want to call them. I didn't want to go see them. Like, I mean, that's just how it went. Like, I'm very transparent, like, whether I like you or not. And so the idea that women have some kind of magical innate ability how to finesse, most of them women, is desperate. Most of them women ain't ish. There's always going to be ain't ish people out there, male and female, black, white, whatever. Out of every culture and every country, there's always going to be people out there that ain't ish. So you can't take that as like a sample size of everybody. You know, again, women, a lot of us, we're not out here getting free gifts. We're not out here just, as long as you give some good sex, then these men are going to fall. No. I know. Shit. I wish. No. I'm like, no. It don't matter what kind of sex you giving or what you give it. Like I said, that's a fallacy that men and women fall into. Women want to believe this, that they think like, if I just be this beautiful person and I be alluring and I be sexy, then he not gonna cheat on me. Beyonce got cheated on, girl. Like, do you really think that Beyonce, one of the most beautiful women in the world, that her man cheated on her too? Not saying it, you know, whose fault it was. It could have been nothing that she had did. It's just that people, it don't matter who you are, there's always a chance that somebody's going to step out on you and cheat. You can be the best girlfriend, best wife, best looking, cook a good meal, have punani on tight. I'm telling people want to believe that all of that matters. And at the end of the day, they can go out and cheat on you with a toothless crackhead. I mean, real talk. You can be the good lookingest guy, give this girl everything in the world, and then she would still end up cheating on you and going back with her meth addicted fucking ex. I mean, let's just keep it real. And then you're sitting there going, I gave you everything. I have a good life. I gave this girl. Why did she cheat on me? Because if a person don't really want you or they're not serious with you, there's nothing you can do or say or look like or give them that'll make them stay. They just gonna cheat, you know. And then, like I said, people don't want to hear that. So the idea of women, we got something on lock, or we got something on, or men on lockdown, or we can somehow get men to do certain things. I've learned you can't make a man do anything that they don't want to do. Women want to believe this. Men want to believe this because men want to think that women have it easier. It makes them feel like they the malign ones and they have it so bad because they want to be the victim, and they want to be the martyr, and they want to feel like women have it so much easier. We have the upper hand. I can't say in dating where I ever felt like, oh, I got him now. I got the upper hand, because people will flip the script at any time, at any moment. Like I said, with social media, there's so many people out there cheating. There's so much access to where you can DM another chick, drop some coins on her a little bit, and she be like, oh my God, this guy's paying attention to me. He's dropping some coins on me. Why do you think women go for that? Because there's not a lot of that. If women had a bunch of men DMing them, dropping coins, simping for them, falling at their feet, then women would be like, I just had to pick whichever dude I want to be with. That happens to That happens to Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B. That doesn't happen to Megan in Plano, or Cordelia in South Bronx. It doesn't happen. So y'all stop believing that. Y'all stop believing what you see on TV and movies and hear these men in barbershops and groups and your friends sit around and talk. You got to prove that by me. You know what I'm saying? Go out tell men, go talk to some women and ask them, you know, what's your dating? Go ask a woman that you're not involved with, that you're not dating, a sister, a mom, not even mom. She's in a different generation, unless she's out there actively. Go ask somebody who is single, who is actively dating in this day and age, and ask them what their experiences is. There's plenty of groups. You don't know nobody personally. There's plenty of groups you can join. You can ask me. I got lifetime full of experiences once my husband died. Like, I mean, it was jarring to go out here and try to date and try to find somebody. It was hard. I mean, I had to put in work. And people were like, well, it's easy for you. What? No. Men don't talk to me. Men don't talk to me. I'm a tall girl. So that's another issue. I'm a tall girl. I'm tall. So, tall girls, we naturally intimidated anyway. And then there's an attractive factor that for some reason, if you're attractive, then men are more. I'm going to tell you, when I was nearly damn 400 pounds and I was single, I had more boyfriends and more dudes hitting on me then when I was a big girl and single before I met my husband. When I was a big girl, I had more men than I ever did once my husband died and I was single and I had lost all the weight. Because it's like, it was like I was still attractive in the face, but I was a big girl. Now people see me, and I guess somehow I've been told by men that I'm intimidating, whatever. But men just need to get over that. But that's my. Y'all have a happy Valentine's Day. I just had to get that off my chest because it just aggravated me. I hope you guys are having a good day. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment below. Until next time, people. You guys take care of yourselves. Peace.